Hello. My name is Carolyn Griffis. I'm a realtor at Remax Hallmark. I am a board of director member of the Toronto Foundation for Student Success, and I'm the founder of the children's breakfast program, Feeding Our Future. 5 years ago, I was looking to support a family for Christmas, and I ended up at a Secord Community Center. What happened was, minutes after I arrived, I was told that the breakfast program at Secord was going to close in a week's time due to lack of funding. So I went back to my office, which is a couple miles away, and said, okay, guys, we need to do something. We need volunteers. I need you in the schools to help prepare the food, and we need to raise enough money to be able to purchase the food. Designed a menu, sent it to public health, got the realtors in there, paid for the food, and a couple of years later, Toronto Real Estate Board said, hey, this is a program that we've been looking for a number of years. We want to get our realtors involved in their own community so that they can make a difference. And this is absolutely perfect. The timing's perfect, time of day, 7:30 till 9. So they said, what we're willing to do is we will buy, for the schools that you have, anything you need for the breakfast program. The plates and the grills and the dishwashers and fridges and so forth. We'll pay for the police checks. Anything else you need, let us know. So this was terrific. This was just unbelievable to hear this. So what I was able to do with this was to have, the partnership with Toronto Real Estate Board, partnership with Toronto Foundation for Student Success, and the realtors. We now have 15 schools. We have over 180 realtors in the schools, and we're preparing, serving, funding 9,600 meals per month. I built this program on what I would call foundation blocks. First foundation was to the Toronto Foundation for Student Success, help with the paying of the coordinator, and a little bit of the food. The next was a Toronto Real Estate Board. I needed to have the infrastructure. And, City of Toronto, yes. And then the realtors. If we do not have the funding from the City of Toronto, that's my foundation. We built on top of that. There will be no breakfast program. I am just appalled at the thought of this program closing. I put my heart and soul into this. I have the amount of people who contribute $10, $20 a month, and I have to go after these same people every year to make up this $80,000 to support these 15 schools. I'm looking to expand, not to close these programs.
Thank you. Councillor Davis.
Thank you very much for your work. But I also just want to ask, isn't Secord one of the very schools that's on that list of 48?
Yes, it is.
And would you consider Secord a neighborhood where the children need this program?
I see these children every single time I'm there. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Could I please just tell one story that happened yesterday? There was the principal called me into the office and said, listen, Carolyn, we're trying to get more kids in here. We've got one boy specifically that we need to get in this program. Okay, great. So I go back, I'm serving the children. There's a teacher who I've never seen before. And she comes up, she's standing beside me, and she's filling up this massive bowl of fruit salad. And I said, wow, that's like some big bowl of fruit salad. She says, I'm taking it back to the classroom. I've got a young boy who is continuously disrupting the children and the class every single morning. He's hungry. So I'm here to pick up food, and until we get this child in this program, I will be picking up the food. Lo and behold, I look over, there's the little boy with the mother. And she thought she had to pay $10 a month to have her child enter into this program. I bent down, I took a look at him and said, hello, could you come to the program tomorrow? I have 100 of those stories.
Thank you. Councillor Fletcher.
Thank you for all of your efforts. With all of your efforts, are they all volunteer hours that are put in by yourself and other realtors that are in the program, that run the breakfast program?
It's all realtors in the
RE/MAX program. And
As
nobody,
well
is
as
anybody
other brokerages.
paid?
Sorry?
Is anyone paid to go and do these programs from your realtors?
No. I raise $80,000 a year. It's not enough money. And $80,000 spent on food.
And the rest of it is volunteer hours. So
It's
We-
all,
time
it's
yours-
not just RE/MAX, it's brokerages all through the Toronto Real Estate Board.
So the real estate board
We are
had
not
put a
paid.
number to the volunteer, as they said, looking for the number for the bulk buying, if we had to buy those. If we had to pay people to come and do what you're doing, I'm sure we could actually put a number on that. I'm just trying to have a column that says this is a tremendous amount of volunteer work that goes beside the actual dollars.
2 to 3 volunteers every single day in 15 schools.
Wow, that's a lot of realtors that are giving their time. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Councillor. Are there any, Councillor Parker?
Thanks for the work you do, and thanks for the story you bring to us today. Now, my church has a long history of starting up services, charitable organizations, missions that serve a particular purpose in a particular area, and they build them up and they develop partnerships and they get them on their feet and get them in a sort of a self-sustaining mode. And then when they're in that condition, they sort of wean them off and send them off on their own so that they can carry on without necessarily maintaining an association with the institution that got them on their feet in the first place. Is there any reason why we shouldn't have the same sort of model at the city, where once we've got something up and running and it's got some substance behind it, send them off on their own so that the resources that the city has can be put to use somewhere else?
I don't know, but what I can say is it is so difficult for me to sustain this, to sustain the enthusiasm, to sustain the funding. I spend probably 50% of my day, maybe more, on this. If I spent this much time on my real estate, I'd be a millionaire. It's extremely difficult to keep this going.
Thank you, Councillor Parker. Is there anyone else? I'm going to ask you a question. You probably know what it is.
No, I don't. Go ahead.
So you would then support the land transfer tax then?
Maybe that's a separate issue, but I may have a solution.
I'm sorry?
That's not fair.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just curious. I mean, on the one hand, you want, see, the challenge I'm having is, Councillor, I think it's a fair question.
I think it's just a rude question,
I think
Mr.
it's a
Chair,
fair
if you don't
question.
mind me saying so.
Councillor?
It's just rude.
Councillor, the lady has identified herself as working for RE/MAX, and she's asking us not to cut the program with respect to the nutrition program. So I'm just curious, because I want to know, there was a representative from the real estate. She says she's with the real estate. She knows what this program is like, and on the one hand, I'm being told that we need to cut that, and given that we have low resources, I'm just curious, as an individual, what your position is.
She'd probably want to talk with you offline about
Well,
that.
I
Oh,
can
okay,
say
all right.
that I would have something else to say about that. I mean,
Okay.
when
If you don't want to
land
answer it,
transfer
if you don't...
tax, I'm still sitting on the
fine.
fence
All right.
on that
You know
one.
what, that is,
But-
Mr. Chair, I have to tell
Counselor.
you, it's just rude for you to
Counselor.
pursue that line of questioning
Counselor.
with someone who's volunteering.
Councillor, thank you very much.
Point of
You overrode
privilege.
my mic.
No, just hold on, please.
Point
Yeah.
of privilege. Mr. Chair, these are long days. The budget has controversies to it. For the most part, we're all civil here to each other and certainly to members of the public. And I have to say, I don't normally say this to my colleagues, but I do object to you interjecting like this when somebody's asking a fair question because it
agree.
was raised earlier today.
I apologize, Councillor.
People who
I
ask
understand.
questions that you might like also get heckled sometimes, so I think,
I understand.
turnabout
I
is fair play. Let's all try
Thank
and
you. I'll
work together.
apologize, Mr. Chair, and apologize to you. I just didn't see it in the budget, so I thought the questions had to relate to the budget. So my apologies.
It did. That was one of the first presentations this morning. No, I was just curious in terms of you understand what you're doing and the challenges that we had, but I'll leave it. If you feel you don't want to answer it, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Next is